Hi everyone, it's Delphine from the Archer Knowledge Ambassador team. Pregnancy is a meaningful time in one's life, and what better way to honor it than by creating your own pregnancy journal? With just a few supplies, you can create a beautiful journal that represents you and that will accompany you throughout this amazing and transformative journey. So let me show you the spreads I created for my own pregnancy journal. Before we jump in the actual spreads, however, I had to choose a notebook. My personal pick was this beautiful Archer Knowledge A5 dot grid notebook that came with the December subscription box. I felt that the design was very soft, delicate, and fitting for a pregnancy journal. As always, feel free to use my affiliate code Delphine10 for 10% off your Archer Knowledge order. I decided to decorate my pregnancy journal in the same style as my usual yearly spreads in my bullet journal, which is pretty minimalist with a light gray grid and a couple of washi tapes. I also created 5 tabs for the different spreads that I chose to include in my pregnancy journal. If you've never created tabs before, I recommend you check out my social media pages where I've posted tabs tutorials before. I chose to label my journal Chapter 1 My Pregnancy because depending on how much I actually use it, I might add other chapters like my birth story or becoming a mom. So my first official spread in this journal is a pregnancy evolution spread. I know it currently looks empty, but it's intentional. As my pregnancy progresses, I'll use my Canon IV to print, then glue photos taken with the same outfit, pose, and location. If you'd like to do this spread but you don't have a mini photo printer, don't worry. Simply take your photos, arrange them into a collage in a document, and then print them at home or at a print shop. Before you know it, you're gonna have a great visual representation of this period in your life. Next spread I created is a family tree, and I fear that this one is pretty self-explanatory. I think it's very cute and fitting in such a journal. The next one, however, is a first time spread, which is perfect for documenting all of the unforgettable firsts of experimenting a pregnancy. The categories I chose to document are the first positive test, the first ultrasound, the first weird craving, the first time I heard a heartbeat, the first time I bought maternity clothes, the first time a baby item was gifted, the first time I bought baby clothes, the first time I took a pregnancy class, the first time I felt the baby move, the first time I felt hiccups, the first time I took maternity pictures, and the first time I felt a contraction. But feel free to personalize this spread with whatever you want. That's the beauty of creating a journal yourself. Now, let's be honest, it's very possible that you and your partner are not on the same page when it comes down to baby names. My partner and I have similar styles, but I thought it would allow us to both write down our favorite names and find out where we overlap. I think it's a really cute spread to include because even if you don't land on the exact same names, it might help you figure out your own styles and eventually find common ground. My nursery and nesting spread is more of the typical listing layout, and I'll use it to document things I need to buy or do before baby arrives. The next 2 spreads are predictions focused. So at the left, we have a gender prediction spread where I wrote down some old wives' tales to try and figure out the gender of my baby. Was this accurate in my case? Well, no, but it was still fun to complete. I included if I had morning sickness, the ring test, the heart rate, if I had headaches or heartburn, cravings, my complexion, bump shape, feet size, my emotions, my intuition, and the Chinese calendar prediction. As for birth predictions, I think that it's a great way to get excited about meeting your baby as your due date gets closer. And it will be fun to look back on once your little one is here. I personally included predictions for the date of birth, the time of birth, the weight, the height, the eye color, the hair color, who the baby will look like, and where my water breaks. Those final 2 spreads hold a little bit more of a sentimental value to me. At the left, I will include a letter that I'll write to my child prior to giving birth, which I will place in an envelope that I made with vellum paper. And at the right, I will glue some ultrasound photos. And finally, the bigger part of my pregnancy journal is full of my weekly updates. I've personally been doing weekly reflections since I found out I was pregnant, and it's become one of my favorite rituals. Each week, I write down the date and the baby's current size, a summary of what happened that week, my symptoms, moods, and feelings, my appetite and cravings, my sleep and energy levels, and the questions I might have mostly for my healthcare providers. Dedicating this time each week to check in with myself and connect with my baby has been so beneficial to me. It's a meaningful self-care moment that I highly recommend you implement. By the way, you can download a weekly update template that I created on Archer Knowledge's blog. All right, I hope that you enjoyed a look out into my pregnancy journal. This was a little bit of a vulnerable video for me, so thank you so much for watching, and let us know in the comments what are your favorite spreads. Bye.